Good evening, everybody, which is not many people, I imagine. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna be playing Ace Attorney, obviously, as you can see on the screen. I apologize if things are a little messed up in the process of getting everything to work. Nothing wanted to cooperate with me, which is never a fun thing to happen when you're working with any sort of technology. So there's 3 games in this. I have played them all before, so I'm not new to this. I'm not new to Ace Attorney, but it has been about 2 or 3 years since I played these games, which means because I have the memory of a goldfish with a brain injury, I'm not going to remember anything that happened. So we're just gonna get in it, I guess. We're gonna play the first one, Ace Attorney. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Play the first turnabout. Heck yeah! I'm new to this kind of thing. I'm not used to commentary. Damn it. Why me? I don't know, man. I can't get caught. Not like this. Dude, you're the one who committed a murder. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. So there's a framing going on here, obviously. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. God, I love her. Oh, hiya, Chief. Sorry. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. What, do they usually start small? Relatively petty crimes, like, I don't know, breaking and entering? Is there a hierarchy of criminal trial? Whatever. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. Or 2. Or 7. A favor? You mean, you knew the defendant before this case? Is that not a good thing? Is that a bad thing to do? Yes. Just a single yes. Actually, I kinda owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. One of about 3. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. What a good friend. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Probably. That's a good bet. Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Ah! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Oh, hey. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. That's rough, buddy. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. You're jumping the gun here. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. It just seemed like you were. You're not fooling anyone. What was wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! The trial hasn't even started yet. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Well, if you had seen the opening cinematic, you would already know what he looks like. Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. So that makes me awfully suspicious. And as we all know, newspapers never lie. My name is Phoenix Wright. It's in the title of the game. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. He has a serious sweating problem. Our school had a saying, When something smells, it's usually the butts. He also had a serious body odor problem. Always refused to wear deodorant. Classic Larry. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. That's unfortunate, my guy. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case. To clear his name. That's just what I'm going to do. Hell yeah, brother. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. I'm gonna have too much fun with this. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous, in case you couldn't tell by the buckets of sweat that are pouring off of my forehead right now. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Just my behavior, not even like the evidence I present. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Not very reassuring. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading, knees weak, arms are heavy, palm spaghetti. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. The defendant is good old Larry. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. If I didn't even know the name of my client, how did I ever get out of law school in the first place, first of all? Correct! Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times, I think. Which one is that? Yeah, that one. You can look at the stuff. Cindy's autopsy report. Time of deaths, 7:31, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Profiles of people. Mia Fey, Chief Attorney, my boss, a very good defense attorney, Larry Butts, defendant in this case, a likable guy who's been my friend since grade school. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model, she lived in an apartment by herself. And Winston Payne, prosecuted for this case, lacks present, generally bad at getting his points across. That's good for me. Wait. Uh-oh. Don't worry, dude, I just looked at it. Me, the all-knowing being in the sky. No way, I forgot, I'm drawing a total blank here. Hey, don't worry. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You can't even remember the victim's... You don't even know the victim's name. Bro. Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Same. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R button to check it at any time, okay? The what button? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please, I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Cinderella. Mia Fey, she's a ghost right there. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. Those 3 questions alone fully show that you are entirely ready to be a lawyer. It must have been very easy for you to pass the bar exam. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy. heavy enough to cave someone's skull in, right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the R button to check the court record frequently. Ma'am, I still don't know what that is. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate.
Unfortunate is Larry's entire existence. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Look at him. Oh, that little twitch on the face.
Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you?
You don't have to be so harsh about it. Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. All 4 of those people died. Didn't they all die? Thanks. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. Sounds like you were dumped. What's it to you, anyway?
Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. That's unfortunate.
Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. That's what was just said. Dude, no way.
The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Dude.
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Never the right direction. Should I? Crap. I mean, Mia said she don't want it to answer, so I guess stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case.
Oof.
Wince. I don't know how he said that, but... Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Not helping your case, man. Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not?
Gulp.
Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I guess have him answer honestly this time? I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there, I went. Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Jesus.
Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying.
Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
That's unfortunate, dude. That's not good news for you. Order! Order in the court! I keep changing the judge's voice every time he talks. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand.
Sawit. Oh, I don't like his scheming little face.
Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Wright, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Alright, witness testimony. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. She could have been asleep. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Well, that's not right, because the autopsy report says she died between 4 and 5 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Soon enough, it's gonna get very hard for me to tell the difference between some of these characters' voices. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Wright used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Do you not know what that is? How did you pass the bar exam?
Alright, right, this is it. The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave.
Lies? What? He was lying?
Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. It's a very easy deduction. God, you're so stupid. Is your client really guilty?
How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face.
That's inappropriate. Okay.
Open the court record with the R button, then point out contradictions in the testimony.
Alright, I already know what the problem is. It's where it says 1 p.m. This is a count. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. But it must be right. Present. And that should be the autopsy report. Time of death, yeah, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So how did you find the body at 1 p.m. when she died 3 to 4 hours later?
Objection!
Riddle me this, Mr. Newspaper boy, I guess? You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Uh-oh, he's sweating. Oh, that. Oh.
This is trivial. The witness barely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Wright, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
That's not his voice.
That's Pean's voice. Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and the whole story falls apart.
Thanks, Mia.